What's happened in Gaza has resulted in a huge loss of life, possibly a lot of civilian life as well. What is Israel's assessment of it? Because Israel has been accused variously of genocide, of not really caring about civilian life during these attacks. Not for the first time Israel's been accused of that. What is Israel's assessment of how much civilian life has been lost? And again, I add the disclaimer that many of these civilians may not have had a choice to move away because of the presence of the Hamas.
Yeah, so primarily civilians in Gaza have been hijacked by Hamas, okay? That's the sad reality. And what Israel has done is really unprecedented in terms of efforts of any modern army to take people out of harm's way, because we have developed tactics that no other Western army
But that
has
still
developed.
resulted in a huge loss of life.
Well, of course, every loss of life is tragic. But first of all, you have to take the data that is coming from Hamas with some salt.
I agree.
Because they have been including in these numbers people that have died as a result of misfire of their own rockets, natural deaths, and they have, according to their counting, no terrorist was killed. We killed more than 15,000, according to our estimates. So when you look at the ratio between terrorist hit and civilians, and you compare it to other urban scenarios that we've seen, for example, in the fight against ISIS in Mosul, there the ratio was 1 terrorist for 8 civilian casualties. Here in Gaza you have a ratio of 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2, which actually is completely unprecedented given the deepness of the embedding of terrorists in the civilian population and the tactics that they have perfected in the abuse of installations that should be impugned according to international law. But international humanitarian law also says that when these installations are abused and are breached by terrorists, they cease to be impugned. So as much as we made an effort to avoid casualties, at the end of the day, many people have died, regrettably. But these accusations of genocide are completely fabricated because, people are using terms without understanding what these terms are. In the Gaza Strip, when we entered the Gaza Strip the first time in '67, there were 200,000, less than 200,000 Palestinians. Do you know how many Palestinians there are now in Gaza? More than 2 million. So what kind of genocide is that? Okay, it's completely fabricated, and it's basically, perpetrated by media outlets that support radical Islam, like Al Jazeera and other media outlets that are daily trying to create blood libels against Israel.
Ambassador, you spoke about radicalization and that, military obliteration is one thing, but like we've seen in this West Asian crisis, it works like a cycle. The violence comes in cycles, then there's a period of peace, and then it erupts once again. We've seen it between Israel and Palestine a number of times. You've served in the military and as a diplomat in all your years, so you know it better than most people. My question now is, this time round, is it going to be just another cycle? Some kind of terms will come on the table, there will be a period of peace, but no real assurance that things won't flare up again, because after this much violence, an entire generation will probably be ready for radicalization once again. And that's what the Palestinians have said before as well. You kill one of us, more will come out.
Well, there is several elements that come as an answer to that. First of all, the fact that Palestinians in Gaza were indoctrinated for the last 17 years to attack Israel has resulted in the 7th of October. So saying that our response to the 7th of October is going to radicalize the Palestinian population in Gaza, this is complete nonsense, because they have been radicalized before the attack. Okay, that's number one. Number two, look, the region of West Asia, as a result of the absolute chaos that came after the Arab Spring and the failure of the Arab state system, has created chaos and radicalism. And you have it in countries that are disintegrated for a long period of time with no connection to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So 500,000 victims of the civil war in Syria have nothing to do with Israel. Okay? 10 million people that are suffering starvation in Sudan have nothing to do with Israel. 1 million people that have been killed in Iraq in the last 2 decades have nothing to do with Israel. The civil war in Yemen has nothing to do with Israel. But what is the common denominator in all these conflicts is that you have radical elements that have arisen as a result of the decay of the Arab state system, and there are cynical players like Iran that are manipulating the situation in order to gain hegemony in the region. So as long as the international community doesn't put pressure on Iran, we are going to continue to suffer from these conflicts, and we'll have to defend ourselves time after time after time.
As a former soldier, as a career diplomat who's seen the good and the bad of this constant effort to make some kind of equilibrium and peace, do you think something should be done differently this time around, Ambassador?
Yes, I think that I'm very optimistic, and I'll tell you why. Because what I'm seeing during this conflict is that our partners in the Arab world haven't backed off or haven't backed down from their positions to confront this radicalism and to stay in touch with us. We've been cooperating quite deeply, both in intelligence and operationally. We've been able to create a shield to the skies of the region against the Iranian attack, okay? And if we show resolution together with our Western partners, with other countries that want peace, like India and other countries, we can create a corridor of security and stability and peace and prosperity in the West Asia, because we have enough partners to do that. The only thing that we have to show is resolution against the radicals. We have to have the backing of international organizations, of the US, and if people are going to think that West Asia is a lost cause and there is no reason why to continue investing in this region, then of course those who want to terrorize the region will win. We want to prevent that, and Israel will not move from the region.
One final question, Ambassador, in that case, speaking of partners, India, as you know, does have special relationships in this region with Israel, with Palestine, with all of your neighbors as well. Do you see some kind of a special role for India in whatever unfolds now?
Well, I think that India has an increasing role in our region, because not only because it has interests in the region, but also because very important players in the region want to engage with India in different ways. So I think that once this war is over, we will be able to go back to plans that we had to create a corridor of connectivity between Asia and Europe. This is in the cards. This is achievable, and I'm sure that India will be a major part of this effort.
We look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thanks for taking our questions here on India Today, Ambassador Reuven Azar of Israel. It's a story that we will continue to track very, very closely right here.
favorite मिला
Dulux Velvet Touch with True Color Technology feels like home.
Dulux. Fly in the coop, but I need some more. My crew gonna wipe the floor. You're gonna weep when I shut the door. Your antics make me bored, cause I just came around to say hello.
Motorola Razr 50. Flip the script.
Hello, Moto.
India Today Conclave 2024. September 25th and 26th, Mumbai. Watch live on www.indiatodayconclave.com.
question. My chief minister has not done anything wrong. He is not involved with any scam. It is a political conspiracy by the BJP to all of us, to all the opposition leaders in the country. This is what is going on. So there is no question of my chief minister has done anything wrong. They are creating problem. We stand by him. We support him. He is doing a good work for the country, for the party, and for the state.
See, Bharatiya Janata Party continuously have been alleging against corruption, against this corrupt Congress government as well as corrupt Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji. And every time they used to claim that it's a political conspiracy. Even after Governor Saab gave sanction against the Chief Minister, prosecution for sanction, even then Chief Minister Siddaramaiah as well as their cabinet, they alleged that Raj Bhavan has been misused. But today, High Court has given a clear judgment and High Court has clearly said whatever governor has taken decision is 100% as per the law. Of course, I agree, Chief Minister has every right to go on appeal in the Supreme Court. But having said that, being a responsible citizen of this country, being a responsible Chief Minister, he is bound to resign immediately.
If the Congress potentially ends up with more seats than yours, and if the trend of the Lok Sabha gets repeated, they will say, boss, CM to hamara hona chahiye, like the likes of Balasaheb Thorat and several others are already saying that. How will you navigate this? Will it be your father who you would like to be projected as the next chief ministerial face, or will it be whoever comes up on top?
Look, I mean, this is most probably the toughest question for me, because it becomes tricky between a Karyakarta and a son. You know, as a son, I cannot praise my father. But as a Karyakarta, as someone who's worked in his cabinet, I know that by far, his 2.5 years of administration, of governance, in terms of COVID, in terms of supporting farmers, in terms of women's safety, in terms of keeping the state ahead in industrialization, has been one of the best in whatever past few decades we've seen. It's been appreciated by everyone. It's been a government that was belonging to everyone, right? Even today, he is the most accepted face. You go out to the hinterlands of Maharashtra, you go to the farmlands of Maharashtra, and they will tell you that Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray is the only man who stood with us in our toughest of times. And that is the fact of the matter. In terms of who will become the CM, how will we navigate the seat sharing, who will claim for it, I think we have a very clear-cut understanding in the MVA. We're not fighting for the post. We're not fighting for the chief minister's post or, selfish purposes, because of which the BJP broke the alliance with us. We are fighting this for the pride of Maharashtra. We are fighting this for the asmita of Maharashtra, which has been lost due to the BJP's governance or misgovernance in Maharashtra. This has been lost due to the loot of the BJP. We are fighting to save the state from the loot of our state at the hands of the BJP.
You spoke very well, Aditya, but you didn't answer my question. Which
makes me a better politician than what I was last year.
Would you like Uddhav Thackeray ji to be projected as the face of the India Alliance in the Maharashtra Assembly elections?
Would you like inter-party disciplinary action to be taken on me if I say something? Look, I mean, frankly, like I said, if today there is a person who can lead the state in a very, unified manner, in a manner that is able, yes, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray stands as one of those foremost people who can lead Maharashtra, because we want someone who will speak about the Maharashtrian pride. We want someone who will speak about how do we take Maharashtra ahead.
presented by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat.
Co-presented by
आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय जॉय ई-बाइक.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Elections Unlocked, your one-stop show for all the day's top election stories. We're coming to you from the Taj Lands End in Mumbai. Maharashtra goes to the polls in a few weeks from now, and we're at the India Today conclave. Remember though, there are other states that are going to the polls as we speak, including Jammu and Kashmir, which is our top story because it was in Jammu and Kashmir that the second phase of polling took place today. Across 6 districts, 26 seats decided the fate of 239 candidates. The second phase covered 15 seats in the Kashmir Valley, 11 seats in the Jammu division. This seat is seen as crucial because several big contenders, Omar Abdullah of the National Conference, the former chief minister, is contesting. Ravinder Raina, the BJP strongman, is also in the race in this section, and Altaf Bukhari of the Apni party. The big news, of course, turned out relatively good again. 55% will be seen as a success. What happened on the ground? Mir Farid reports.
The second phase of polling in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir was the crucial one for major political parties, with several high-profile candidates in the fray. Among the 239 candidates contesting across 26 constituencies are former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, Bharatiya Janata Party State President Ravinder Raina and Apni Party Chief Altaf Bukhari.
कोई भी उम्मीदवार हारने के लिए इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ता, तो हमारे एक्सपेक्टेशंस यही हैं कि आज ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वोट जो हैं नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के उम्मीदवारों को पड़ेंगे.
I am quite confident the people of whole Jammu and Kashmir will support Bharatiya Janata Party. The way our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi Sahab and Shri Amit Shah Sahab did the commendable job and brought peace, prosperity and normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir. The development has touched new heights in Jammu and Kashmir. Definitely people will vote for BJP and we will.
The assembly segments in the second phase were spread across the central Kashmir districts of Budgam, Srinagar and Gandarbal, as well as the Poonch and Rajouri districts in the Jammu region. Though the voting percentage in Srinagar was low compared to other places, in areas known for boycott, people came out to vote with enthusiasm, especially senior citizens like this centurion in Riyasi.
अच्छी कोई गवर्नमेंट आएगी तो चलो बच्चे हैं कारोबार कोई खुलेगा तो बड़ी अच्छी बात है. आज ये किसी की गवर्नमेंट आए किसी की भी आए पर लेकर आनी चाहिए किसी की अच्छी गवर्नमेंट.
Paralympic archer bronze medalist Rakesh Kumar exercised his voting right for the formation of assembly in the Union Territory.
जब से 370 हमारे जम्मू कश्मीर स्टेट से हटा है, काफ़ी सारे बदलाव जो हमें देखने को मिले हैं और अभी जो इलेक्शन हो रही है इसमें जो भी सरकार आएगी मुझे लगता है कि और भी काफ़ी सारे बदलाव जो हमने अभी तक नहीं देखे हैं वो अभी आप देखेंगे. देखिए सर, जहाँ तक बात है कैंडिडेट की, मैं समझता हूँ कि हमारा जो वोट है वो हमें कास्ट करना चाहिए, वोट जरूर करना चाहिए.
We are in a polling station in the Bemina area now. More than the queues here, it's really colorful. There are flowers and then there is this pink voting station, which means that it's for ladies as well. There are special arrangements for the women. Now on this side, there is a selfie booth as well. There is a selfie point where after casting the vote you can take a selfie. So these are different steps that have been taken by the ECI to make it more attractive for the voters to come and vote. Though as far as your question and queues are concerned, there are many areas there where queues are already could be seen, but as far as Srinagar polling stations are concerned, it is a slow build up now. There are some people here. Ma'am, आप कहाँ से हैं?
हम बीमिना से हैं.
जी जी, आपका नाम?
शमीमा खान.
शमीमा जी, कैसा अभी माहौल लग रहा है? वोटर अभी कम आ रहे हैं, आगे बढ़ेगा?
इंशाल्लाह क्यों नहीं पड़ेगा। अभी सवेरा है इसलिए नहीं आ रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोग आ रहे हैं।
इस पोलिंग स्टेशन में हम लोकसभा में भी आए थे, काफी वोटर थे
जी। अभी भी बहुत सारे हैं, आप देखिए अभी कहीं कहीं एक दुकान, लेकिन यहाँ देखिए कितने हैं, बहुत
कितने। तो मुद्दे क्या हैं यहाँ, लोग क्या मसले हैं?
सारे मसले हैं। सबसे पहले बेरोजगारी, सबसे पहले महंगाई, सबसे पहले कोई स्कीम नहीं, वही परेशानी लोगों में है।
ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट, इंडिया टुडे।
The next and final phase of voting will now take place in Jammu and Kashmir on the 1st of October. Among the areas that will go to the polls in that phase will be in North Kashmir, in Baramulla. My colleague Pooja Shali went to Baramulla to bring you this report on the Sikh community and what they're looking for from this election. Take a look.
Baramulla district has a prominent presence of the Sikh minority population. Estimates suggest that 80,000 Sikhs reside across the valley. Approximately 10,000 are in Baramulla's assembly segment. I reached out to one Sikh family to understand their expectations from the next government.
इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं, कोई बात कर रहा है सिखों के बारे में या उनके इश्यूज के बारे में?
बहुत सारी एक्सपेक्टेशंस जो हैं हमें नरेंद्र मोदी जी की लीडरशिप से हैं, क्योंकि देश बदला है, सिचुएशंस बदली हैं, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर की सिचुएशन चेंज हुई है, तो बड़ी एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखते हैं हम। जब रेडर्स ने कश्मीर को इन्वेड किया था, जी, उनका नारा था मुस्लिम का घर हिंदू का